Chapter 138 is the calm before the storm, with the return of Ryuki and some business aspects of Kengan being explored yet again, which includes something I'm not too happy about, but I'll get into that shortly. Before beginning, I have some unfortunate news. After many months, I've received a strike on a Kengan video. If you don't know, 3 strikes and YouTube deletes your channel, so be a mad lad and make sure you're subscribed to the second channel. All uploads will continue on there in the worst case scenario. Thanks for supporting. Now let's begin. So this chapter starts off with some high level cringe. What is Okubo doing? Like, he's already the clown, he's already trash. Now I just want to see him get hit like this again. Like, Okubo, man, come on. I'm trying to like you, but it's getting impossible at this point. Feels bad, man. But we have everyone pretty much celebrating, and Oma, as we know, isn't too fond of parties, but he has another motive, and that is of course to, hunt down the Tiger Nico and get his revenge and everything like that. However, surprisingly, we have our boy Julius stopping him first, saying, "You're not thinking of going after him, are you?" Julius talking to someone, actually communicating part of the group. Very surprising, didn't see this coming whatsoever. Julius has become the big bro supporting all the boys at this point. Of course, with Oma revealing that, we have everyone freaking out, with Kano actually being the one telling Oma to control himself. As we know, Kano was the one who pretty much got the most enraged when the Tiger Nico revealed himself, with him saying the following: "Now that we know Tokita Nico is tied to the worm, we'll run into him sooner or later." And looking at the last panel of today's chapter, it will most likely be sooner, if I'm being honest. But Oma agrees to, not go after the Tiger Nico right away. From there, we have the return of Ryuki. Of course, Koga celebrating, telling him not to worry about the match, how it was an accident, everything like that. But Ryuki is very different. First, we have Oma picking up the difference, talking to Rito, saying, was he always like that? Then we have an interaction between Ryuki and Oma with the, side comparison showing how alike they truly are. Remember, Faye revealed to us that Oma and Ryuki are clones of another, and that's why they look so much alike. We don't know if this is actually the case, but that's what Faye told us. With Ryuki saying, "Oma, I watched your match. I must say you're strong. If we fought now, I couldn't hold a candle to you. I'll give you that much." This makes Misa questioning what's going on, saying he was so distorted a moment ago, but now he's acting like it never happened. So yeah, Ryuki, has he been kidnapped and some worm imposter has taken over? Or, as he says here, "I found God," showing Kiryu walking in the hallway. So what has Kiryu done to our boy Ryuki? Has he made Ryuki view him as Kiryu previously viewed Oma and Ashura? Or has he done something else? Ryuki has done pretty much a full 360 on how he acts just interacting with Kiryu. Very, very strange. Is Kiryu working for the head of the worm and has done something to Ryuki? A lot of question marks around that. Is this the real Ryuki? Is it an imposter? Yeah, he is definitely not himself or has gone through quite a change. Then we cut to Team Purgatory, seeing all the depressed faces. Lu Dongten saying we lost, Carlos saying we didn't come nearly as close to them in power as we did in the final score, so Carlos admitting that as a whole, Kengan was much stronger compared to Purgatory. Then we have the whole business aspect for the remainder of the chapter. Mitsudo celebrating for Team Kengan's victory, Nogi thanking King Rama for his support, even though, to be fair, Gao Lang did lose his fight, but we get a reminder that King Rama is a leading power in East Asia, and his support is, highly valued for the Kengan Association, even though he most likely would have switched sides if Kengan would have lost. And then we have the CEO of Purgatory arriving, saying, "I admit it, you win," with him revealing to us he was aware of the worms the whole time. And one of the main reasons he actually wanted this tournament to commence is so he could weed out all the worms, and he was successful in that regard. Of course, he mentioned that he would have preferred that he won and that he chose a team that he thought could win, but he also had the whole worm extermination as, a side thing that he wanted to deal with as well, or as something with equal importance. Then we have my biggest issue with today's chapter. The original purpose of the Kengan vs Purgatory tournament was for the winner to absorb the other association, and Nogi just comes out and says, "I'm taking the merger of Kengan and Purgatory off the table," saying regardless of him winning, he's not going to do the merge and take over Purgatory. Kinda making it feel like the whole tournament was a waste of time apart from weeding out all the worms. He does justify saying that Purgatory and Kengan are very different organizations, of course, showing with, a lot of the Purgatory fighters getting killed in the process. He decides to make the Kengan Association business partners, but the reality is Purgatory works under the Kengan Association, but to the public, to keep public scrutiny at the minimum, it's more of a business partnership, allowing people to transfer from one to the other whenever they really want. So regardless of them not fully merging, we may see some Purgatory fighters fighting in Kengan matches or Kengan fighters fighting in Purgatory matches. So if I had to guess, Nitoku would probably join Purgatory based on various interactions and, his whole friendship that he's gained with Lu Dongchen. And maybe characters like Carlos or Lolong may give Kengan a go, perhaps, or something like that. So yeah, there could be possible future fights. And they also talk about future inter-promotional competitions and stuff like that, but I need to adjust the rules and the fight money and everything like that as Purgatory fighters make a lot more money and everything like that. So I understand the business aspect behind this decision, how it's better for optics and everything like that, but still I'm a little bit disappointed. Regardless, it has solidified Nogi's position as the chairman, having a business deal with the second largest underground fighting association, which is Purgatory, and having a business deal with King Rama. So someone who has a lot of power in East Asia and someone who has a lot of power in Southeast Asia. Now on his side, of course, being still supported by Matsuda, the ex-chairman. However, if you don't remember, one major issue of this tournament is the deal the older Jaime made with Yamashita. That being, if his fighter was to win against Purgatory, the older Jaime will be appointed as the deputy chairman of the Kengan Association yet again. So he is back in power, and the one who's going to stop him from doing anything is our boy Retsudo. He's one of the most mysterious characters in the Kenganverse. He's the son of Metsudo and the leader of the extermination force, with him being trained by Misa in his younger years, the current Fang of Metsudo. He's shown to have authority over Oma and Ryan, being able to control them somewhat, so he must be very powerful apart from being the leader of the extermination force. I cannot wait to see him have an all-out fight and see what he's truly capable of. Maybe he will fight a top tier worm or something like that, but this is what he says. I won't let them destroy the Kengan Association. Of course, referring to Jaime and his former boys. It will be mine one day. So his plan is to be the CEO of the Kengan Association one day, like his father was, or the chairman or something like that. So yeah, Retsudo being an absolute badass. Everyone's celebrating. We see Jaime, Nitoku, everyone on Team Kengan in the middle of the arena celebrating, with Koga's inner monologue thinking, 1 year, I'll catch up to you in 1 year. Will Koga catch up to Oma in 1 year? I doubt it. If he does, it will be a little bit bullshit, but I do think Koga will improve greatly over a year of training. But then the final panel, which of course, the calm before the storm, none of these fighters could have predicted the tragedy that was about to unfold. So the whole worm invasion arc is most likely going to occur next chapter. We're going to see most likely Edward versus Ryan, including the whole war between the Kure and Wu clans and the whole war between everyone and the worms. Absolute chaos will most likely occur, and I'm expecting quite a few characters to actually be killed. We haven't had too many main Kengan characters killed throughout the story, so if some actually do die during this whole next arc, it's going to be absolute chaos. So yeah, I'm very excited for the future of Kengan. This week's chapter as a whole was pretty solid, nothing major, but Ryuki very suspicious. Cool business interactions, which has been lacking quite a bit throughout Kengan thus far. We had a lot more of that in between rounds during the Kengan Astro Annihilation tournament, so that was cool to see again, and this all the setup reminding us key points, and yeah, pretty solid chapter. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, follow my Twitter, join the Discord, and as always, shout out to these people who support the channel via the Patreon. But yep, that's it guys, peace.